Well, it looks like Secrets of Strixhaven is looking to get itself on academic probation because it is breaking all the rules when it comes to singles in Magic the Gathering, especially for an in-universe set. Almost $1,400 for the Force of Will here, and here's the crazy part, it is selling. Man, do we have a lot to talk about in this video. If you like content like this, that's analytical about Magic, yet not relentlessly negative about it, while talking about markets, gameplay, and doing box openings, then hey, maybe subscribe. Also, if you have a lot of cardboard you want to sell, check out Card Conduit, one of the best ways to sell your cards on the internet. Use promo code NERDY for 10% off your fees at checkout. And then also check out Mana Pool, which is apparently the largest growing online sales database for Magic the Gathering cards, a sponsor of this channel. Thanks, Mana Pool. I appreciate it. Affiliate link below. Use that to purchase your cards after you get all that sweet cash from Card Conduit. I greatly appreciate it. All right, so before we really dive into the Silver Scroll Foils here, I just want to talk briefly about the collector booster boxes themselves. We see a rather interesting price trajectory for the Secrets of Strixhaven collector booster display here, $488 unopened, and a sort of parabolic chart. Typically, when we see this kind of rise, we see the box drop all the way back down to MSRP or around that, and then maybe back up as the hits start to assign some more consistent value in the secondary market. But here, it's leveling off at around $489, which is about $130 to $150 above MSRP here. And we have a very healthy secondary market. They're selling a lot. It seems that $470, $480 was a good price to strike for a lot of folks. I opened 5 of these. That does seem like a bit of an average expected value return on these boxes, or EV, as some people like to say. I typically don't, because it is truly random. You shouldn't expect anything with a collector booster box except for yourself to have a chance to pull something crazy. One of my boxes, even recently priced, was well over $1,000. I got a link below that had 2 Vampiric Tutors, 2 Emerituses of Ideation, or the Emeriti as I like to call them. So really excellent box, and we see that a lot of what's holding up the value of Secrets of Strixhaven is these Silver Scroll Foils, and not just the regular set. If we look at the regular set here, we do see a fair amount of interesting cards here, but not very many of them breaking $30. As I suspected right now, Emeritus of Woe might actually be the most playable of the Emeriti out of the entire cycle, although Emeritus of Ideation does have that showcase spot because of its incredible Mark Poole art headliner serialized chase card. So again, a lot of these are settling out, Witherbloom proving to be the most expensive of the legendary dragons, with Prismari jumping ahead of Lorehold. Surprisingly, upon release, Lorehold was the top chase, and same with Emeritus of Ideation, it was way ahead of Emeritus of Woe. But we are seeing that the Elder Dragon cycle is fairly sought after, and then of course, as always, we have a red card doing well, Improvisation Capstone, that goes in the red deck win archetype. So yeah, kind of standard fare for the set. And if that was everything, I'd be able to end the video right there and go, hey look, it's another standard release. But these Silver Scroll Foils are behaving unlike anything I've seen since or before the Neon Chocobos from Final Fantasy. So briefly, let's establish what we're talking about here. The top chase, the Force of Will, has 75 sold at or around $900 to $1,100, and some even over at $1,294 just a few days ago. This is unreal. Seeing a card move at over $1,000 or around that in a new released Magic set is not typical, it's not common, and the only time we saw that was when we had a new IP and an extreme chase card like the Traveling Neon Ink Chocobos. I chose the blue one here because for a short time I did own it, and then I sold it in order to get myself a Thanos Soulstone treatment. But now these sales have all but dried up. We only have 3 sales in the past 2 months that are tracked by TCG, and before this, when we go all the way back to a year, 57 of them were sold, and you can see the price chart here as it rapidly climbed up well after release to get to that $2,000 price point. But at the beginning, they did hover at this $400, $500, $600, $700, $800 price point. That never happened for the Force of Will. It started expensive, it remained expensive, and it did level off a bit down to $1,000. But we are seeing some real price action that would indicate that this card is going to stay at this higher level of value. Only 23 listed, so very hard to pull, and those who are pulling them are tending to keep them rather than sell them, at least for the time being. And again, 75 sold. I can't understate how unusual it is to see sales of an expensive card. Look at this, $1,600, $1,600, $1,200, $1,200. I swear, I feel like I'm back in the Final Fantasy release in the months and weeks following, talking about the Neon Chocobos just breaking all the rules. Let's see, is this true for other cards? Yes, Vampiric Tutor is the same way. We're looking at $700 for the sale price here. And again, really high interest in this product. People are buying this thing at $550 to $600 a piece, which is around, by the way, where the Chocobos were when they first came out. So either we are getting some insane price action on the speculation side, believing that these are as rare as and as sought after as the Neon Ink Chocobos, or we are at the beginning of these cards setting a new price paradigm for in-universe chase cards. It's amazing. After this, we get a pretty steep drop-off down to Jessica's Will at around $340, $320. Now, when you look at these kinds of cards, this mirrors more, believe it or not, even the Spider-Man release. When we had the Eddie Brock first come out, it was around $300 in the second week after release. We're looking at that price here. It did eventually level down to the borderless Eddie Brock to around $70, $80, $90. I think this Silver Scroll Jessica's Will stay in the three-figure or higher club at like $150 to $200 by the time the dust settles. Of course, as ever, none of this is financial advice. This is all just speculation. Who knows what's going to happen? It's cardboard. But I do see insane price excitement around this trifecta of cards, and even the Cyclonic Rift holding at around that $300 price point here. 47 of them sold. Lots of interest in this product, as well as this holds between that $300 and $350 price point now. $325 your low to purchase from an unknown seller. To get to a verified seller, you're looking at $350 with about $1.30 in shipping. So first off, this is, I think, my favorite art out of all of them. Look at that cute little guy. He's just trying to hold on in the Cyclonic Rift. I really want this because it's also a black and white cat, so it kind of mirrors the cow Cyclonic Rift. Let me pull that up. From Ravnica, I pulled this one as well. It's sitting around $49 right now in the non-foil. In the foil treatment, still sitting over $100. So that's a good sign. These were easier to pull than the Silver Scroll Foils in the foil treatment. So I think the Cyclonic Rift is going to settle out above this price here. So again, very sought after card. We have now a top 4. Let's see what the 5th most expensive is. It's Ad Nauseam. Oh, I was lucky enough to pull this in the non-foil, non-Silver Scroll, but still, gorgeous, gorgeous card. Very playable card. A staple in CDH and is talked about frequently in that realm. $250 right now, 61 of them sold. So again, high value cards moving with lots of interest. Below that, we have Flusterstorm, Force of Will, all the way up there in its non-Silver Scroll foil. In my first box battle, my other buddy pulled a Force of Will in this treatment, and then also the Mystical Archives English version of it. Triumph of the Horde sitting about $104 here. Then we get to this $100 range here, where even the non-foil Vampiric Tutor is sitting. Crop Rotation, Veil of Summer, these cards here, I think we might see these drop down to around $50, but I do think they were going to rise back up, and we're going to see them to become highly sought after cards. If I were a betting man, I'd be buying up Armageddon. I'd be buying up the non-foil Cyclonic Rift. I'd be buying up Veil of Summer, Jessica's Will, Crop Rotation in Silver Scroll, Jessica's Will in non-Silver Scroll. I think these cards are very hard to pull. They have iconic treatments already, and I think they're going to go down in history as some of the best Magic cards ever printed in universe in this new collectible era of Magic over the past 3 to 5 years, where they're really leaning into the collector products. Now, looking back at what this has done as a ripple effect through the remainder of the old Strixhaven set, we do see a pretty dramatic uptick from $470 all the way up to $590. These boxes selling more frequently now as people have gained an interest and perhaps a new appreciation for a previously forgotten set in Strixhaven. We can see here that the previous Mystical Archive Japanese foil set, which before did not have Silver Scrolls, they had something called foil etched. And I can tell you it's very, very hard to tell the difference because the foil etched existed, but you could also get this in a foil. Distinguishing the Demonic Tutor Japanese alternate foil versus the foil etched was not very easy, and it didn't really have a great differential value when looking at it. So this lightly play foiled is still at $750. Have any sold recently? Yeah, look at that. Some people coming in buying the light play foil. Ooh, for $313. Someone's getting in trouble there. They didn't realize the price disparity. Look at that. Half off. What a lucky find. It looks like you can still find a steal or two on TCG. That's incredible. Then looking at what's going on with the Demonic Tutor in the foil etched version, that one is at $330, $350 as well. So the regular printed foil version is seen to be more sought after than the foil etched. Unfortunately, in this new set, we don't have a similar comparative point. There is no foil, non-foil, then Silver Scrolls. It's either non-foil or Silver Scrolls. Teferi's Protection of the foil etched doing pretty well as well from that set as the other chase card. within that initial printing. This does have a foil version as well, $289. Look at that. The foil version being the definitive favorite of the collector here over the foil etched version. And again, I think it's because of the rather subtle foil treatment that came with the foil etched version back from the original Strixhaven. So now, what does that mean for collecting Secrets of Strixhaven? What does that mean for what you should do next? Well, I think $480 is a pretty fair price for these boxes. I think we might see them return back down to $320, $310, but genuinely, with this new price point for Silver Scroll foil cards, I do not see how this box drops down as low as TMNT, drops down as low as Spider-Man, drops down as low as Edge of Eternities even, drops down as low as Dragonstorm Tarkir. I think this is going to sit in a new class of its own because none of these are including the 1 of 500 serialized headliner in this set. These are just the rare pulls like the Neon Chocobo. It's almost as if they added this sub-level of rare pulls where maybe like in Ravnica, the regular serialized cards would be outside of the headliner. It is this new area of really rare, really hard to pull, but also non-headliner chases within the set, allowing more people to pull top-end chases that pay for half, all of, or double a box if you get it without necessarily having to pull a serialized card. So I can see these being a better bargain than trying to jump into one of the old Lord of the Ring collector booster boxes where you're just looking for the Elvish rings that are serialized, or a Spider-Man box where outside of the Thanos Soulstone or the serialized Soulstone you are hosed. This is a different kind of box, which is fun. It's really cool for me to see Secrets of Strixhaven producing a new kind of market trend that we haven't even seen with the Universes Beyond IP where all the money is supposed to flood to. Instead, Secrets of Strixhaven is commanding Universes Beyond prices for their boxes in the secondary market at above $450, which TMNT couldn't pull off. And Spider-Man certainly can't, still at $334 for the price of these boxes. So we're looking at a pretty dramatic turn of events for this box, and I love it. It's great for Magic, it's good for the health of the game, and we still have the release of the Codex bundle coming out down the line, which I've said before, looks like it's going to be one of the most promising collector bundles we've ever gotten. It gives me the same kind of excitement that I got for the pizza box of TMNT, and even before that, and more importantly, and at a higher volume for my excitement, the amazing Phyrexian Complete Bundle. Man, oh man, the Phyrexian Complete Bundle is sitting at $407 for the oil slicks. I was buying this puppy back when it was $99, $2, $3, $4 at a time, wherever I could find them, because the way I looked at it is between the oil slick lands and those amazing 2 oil slick mythics you could pull, there was no way to really lose in this bundle. And this was just a cool looking box as well. And clearly it's aged exceptionally well over time, with people still buying it at this $300 to $400 price point pretty frequently. Look at that many sales since March 20th. A handful have sold between now and then, at around 15 or 20 sales in about a month's time, even at this really high price. So again, if I was a betting man, I would speculate that these Codex bundles are going to do very, 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 very well over time. They're a unique form factor box. I've already talked to people who 3D print, who want to convert these Codex bundles into actual deck boxes with 3D printed inserts. So the box itself in this new form factor I think is exciting. And me as a giant book collector, can't wait to see this on the shelf. So ultimately, when looking at Strixhaven as a collectible product, I think this is going to do well in the immediate future and the long future. And again, not a financial advice, not investment advice. Do what you will, do your own research, who knows? But I'm seeing signals from this product that I have not seen since Final Fantasy. And you know what? I think this has more staying power than Final Fantasy because this is enticing new fans and old fans, like a sleeping eldritch god. The old base of Magic the Gathering, who's been here for 5, 10, 15, 20, 30 years, I think has been moved into action by this product. Which is funny, because when the first Strixhaven came out, I was there. It was kind of a meh set, to be honest. But now, in the current Magic climate, this set is standing out as pure Magic, and it's commanding high value, as only the best Universes Beyond products can. Wizards hit the synthesis of what they're trying to do. High collectible value, great playability, in-universe lore, even with the in-universe novelization being released. I mean, Magic is back, baby. People have said that, but now with my video, I've given you the foundation as to why Magic is back. Not just a platitude, not just a meme, but really, I think this is exactly what Wizards has been trying to get to. Highly collectible, sought after in-universe products that still have really playable, exciting cards that are accessible to all. Look at this. If you want to get Decorum Dissertation, which is a really cool card, I like this card, in a showcase treatment, it's $15. Super accessible. We're not even talking, look at this, in foil, it's $16. We're not even talking that if you want to play these cards upon release, you have to buy yourself a pack treatment at $7 and not be able to afford an $80, $90, $100 borderless foil. No, look, even Prismari, $25 for one of the most powerful Elder Dragons in the set. In the borderless treatment, $19. Look at this, $19 with $1 shipping, $20, less than half the cost of a collector booster pack, and you get yourself one of the chases of the set. They're getting to this point now where I think the player and the collector, there's no reason to be upset or to even draw a distinction between the two, because it's a distinction without difference. This product is serving both simultaneously, and it's exciting to see. I love it. So let me know in the comments below, do you think Magic is back? Is my positivity just rose-colored glasses, or is this actually something different? Do you agree the Silver Scroll Foils are like the Chocobos, or do you think it's something else? Let me know in the comments below. How is this in a limited gameplay environment? I'm very curious about that. I haven't gotten the chance to play as much as I'd like. Work has been absolutely kicking my butt, so I'm excited to sit here and talk about this with you today. And don't forget, make sure you check out my Patreon. I have our monthly giveaway coming up in just a few days. All patrons from free to paid will have the chance to win a confetti foil Deadpool secret layer, as well as a sealed TMNT pizza bundle, 2 giveaways, 2 winners. And if you are at a paid membership, we're gonna open it live for you on stream so you can see what you got in real time. And that's it. Now, I think it's time for us to thank our patrons. First and foremost, a giant thank you to all of our associates, council, and partner level patrons. I really do appreciate it. And then a giant thanks to our senior partners here, Teacher Johnny, Zach W, Dragon's Den Games and Hobbies, Novian L, Kevin C, and Berserkin. We really appreciate it. You guys got yourself that amazing Gaia's Cradle promo. Thanks for being a part, and that's a free gift for being a part of our community. Next, at the $50 tier, we have our equity partners, Toucher of Wood and Tony MTG Prince. You guys are also getting, in addition to that Gaia's Cradle, this sweet Gilded Drake, one of 50, done by the same artist as well. And finally, our Mad Lad named partner, Thomas McKinney. Thank you so much for your support of the channel and for everybody's activity in the Discord and helping to make this community what it is. One that spreads positivity and has fun with Magic, this game we love. All right, everyone, that's the video. Thanks so much for stopping by. Let me know what you think about the Silver Scroll Foils below. I hope you enjoyed this video. And for all 3 of you who stuck around till the end, you're the real ones. Thank you so much for hanging out. And I hope you, specifically you watching right now, win one of the patron giveaways. All right, as always, I'm the Nerdy Attorney. Be excellent to each other. Play paper magic with your friends. And until next time, court is adjourned.